Hi, my name is Kyle Knabb, and I'm a CRM consultant here at IBIS Inc. Thank you for joining us for today's webcast on 5 reasons to get CRM 2015. So let's go ahead and get started. So CRM 2015 was released at the end of last year, pushed out online automatically for some users, and then now it's available on-premise for anybody. And so we'll check out what they added in this release that might provoke you to approach CRM 2015, perhaps if you're on 2011 or 2013, or even if you're on CRM 4.0, what could bring you all the way to CRM 2015. So, I know there's 6 reasons here, but some of these roll up into each other. Today we'll talk about product catalog enhancements, hierarchies in CRM, hierarchy security, a new feature called calculated fields, as well as roll-up fields, and we'll wrap up with global search. So CRM has always had a product catalog that has been more like products light. Compared to any robust product management system, CRM kind of paled in comparison, and so with the 2015 release, they're adding more and more features that help CRM, Dynamics CRM, stack up to its competitors. Those new features include product families, relationships, properties, a product lifecycle, and all those combined to create an improved sales experience when dealing with products on opportunities, quotes, and invoices. The product family is a new concept where you can group products together in families in parent-child relationships. Now, children inherit aspects of the parent, and then you can control publishing of all of these families kind of as one family unit instead of individual products. In the screenshot we see here that this symbol means a product family is in use. So the very top item, the Office 365 suite, is a product family. And the symbol next to it is a universal symbol for a hierarchy, and that's going to appear throughout CRM in a lot of these screenshots. In this screenshot, it means that within this product family of the Office 365 suite, there are members of its hierarchy. In the highlighted one down here, we have a family called CRM Service, and in its hierarchy, we probably have these individual products: CRM Online Professional, Enterprise, and Standard. And if you click on the hierarchy symbol of any one of those product records, you get a nice blown up tile view. For example, I clicked on the CRM Service family record, and we can see that it belongs to the Office 365 family. But within the CRM Service family, we actually have product records of Enterprise, Professional, and Standard online products. So what we get with a family is you can nest families within families, but ultimately you need to nest products in your families because you're still adding products to your opportunities. Now, between products, there's a new feature called product relationships. It's kind of akin to CRM's existing connections feature, which was added back in CRM 2011. With product relationships, you establish a connection between 2 products, so 1 and 2, and then you say what is the nature of that relationship. You say that one is the substitute for the other, and what direction, unidirectional or bidirectional. So in the example below, we can see that if you're selling somebody the CRM Online Standard product, you can upsell them a CRM Online Professional product, or you can add to it with a cross-sell by selling them Link Online, Exchange Online, SharePoint Online, because these are complementary products to CRM Online. And we'll see how that manifests itself in a couple slides for the sales experience. For that, though, I'll talk a bit about product properties. Product properties are characteristics of a product. So where previously CRM could only store the product's name, quantity, unit, and unit price, you can now store extra properties. In the example here for CRM Online, we can store the base language of that product, how many users it comes with, the organization name. And so these properties that are defined here, they kind of look like fields that you might add to an entity itself, but what they really are fields that you would add to an opportunity line item. So that when you add this CRM Online product to an opportunity, you have this properties area here where you have to edit it, and it gives you a little call-out window. And in that, you can fill those properties. So if we're selling a CRM Online instance, a standard license, you could fill out what organization name your client would get. Now, these properties do not affect the out-of-the-box pricing engine in CRM. That is to say, if we chose an organization name with special characters, or maybe a max user count of 60 instead of 50, that out of the box, these decisions cannot affect the pricing. I will say that CRM provides the ability to basically turn off the out-of-the-box pricing engine and insert your very own. And that comes with a caveat in that when you insert your own, it has to be fully fleshed out. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, additionally, with the product, we now can control the product lifecycle. So they've added all these new features of families and properties and relationships of a product, and it may take some time to nail those down in your product catalog. So you can work with the concept of publishing your products. They'll all start in a draft state, after which you can publish it to make it active. And once a product family and its products are activated, then you can use them on your CRM opportunity records or quotes and invoices. At any time, you can also choose to revise an active product, at which point you'll have a copy kind of behind the scenes that you're working on, that you're revising. And at that point, there's still a live published version available for use until you replace it by publishing your revisions. You can also take an active product out of service by retiring it. At that point, it's not under revision, you're not changing it, you're just choosing not to use it anymore. And if you need to bring that back into service, you can reactivate it. So what this looks like on an opportunity screen is, here we are, I just have a screenshot of the product line items area. And I've already added a CRM Online product line item. I've entered some properties for it. And notice on the right, we have this suggestions column. When you click on suggestions, you get this little call out showing you the relationships that that product has to other products. This particular one, CRM Online Standard, has an upsell relationship with CRM Online Professional. So in the upsell area here, you can pick CRM Online, at which point you get a picked count down here, and you add it to the list. And once you add it to the list, you get 2 line items, and at which point you can fill out the properties of your new line item and probably delete the previous one that has now been upsold. So we've seen product relationships, and I talked about product hierarchies. Throughout CRM 2015, hierarchies appear in many other places as well. They might appear in core records. This is something that's been supported for a while, but now CRM gives us basically a new visual representation of it. if I take, for example, the Fourth Coffee account record, or rather I should say, if I make a brand new account record, Fifth Coffee, and I say that its parent company is Fourth Coffee, then when I return back to the list of accounts, that little hierarchy symbol will appear. And when you click on it, you can get a visual representation of your parent-child account relationships. This is useful whenever you as a company are selling to customers who have branches and subsidiaries and who all have different sales demands from you. You can still work with them, or at least conceptually, in one large hierarchical unit. Another place that hierarchies show up is in users. So this is not a foreign concept. We've had user hierarchies ever since we've had companies of more than one employee. We've had a boss and direct report relationship. And CRM allows us to leverage that idea to control security. Security throughout the entire application. So there's a new thing called hierarchy security, and you can configure it in one of two ways. We have two options to configure it. You can go with a manager hierarchy, which is where one user has a manager identified on their user record, and that manager will have some permissions to their reports records. Or you can go by position, whereby a single user will have a position identified on their user record, for example, a salesperson, and then anyone with a sales manager position, for example, would have access to salesperson's records. So I'll go into a bit of detail on these two things. In a manager hierarchy, we have this manager field on a user record. If the current user is the direct report of Clinton Weldon, then Clinton is that person's manager. So the person in question is Anthony, and we can see in the chart here that Clinton is his manager, and Anthony has 3 reports visible, and this little 1 on the navigator indicates there's another record over to the left, also below Anthony. Now Anthony has read-write access to the records of Kelsey, Kenneth, and Kyle. So that is to say, if Kyle has an opportunity, that's me, then if I have an opportunity record out there, Anthony could take control of it, edit it, add new line items, reassign it, and that's because he's my manager. Clinton, one step above Anthony, can do the same for all of Anthony's records, but for those below Anthony, Clinton simply has read access. So Kyle, Kenneth, and Kelsey are the indirect reports of Clinton, so Clinton can simply read. He has visibility into everything below him, but he doesn't necessarily need to have his paws in it all. And this is purely based on a hierarchical, on hierarchy security. Keep in mind that CRM security roles still come into play, so if Clinton is a system administrator, then of course he will have access to whatever he needs. Also, if he is maybe a vice president of sales, if that's his security role, and that security role gives him access to everything in his business unit, then that would basically override any limitations that this second bullet point might induce, which is read-only access. Now, in a position hierarchy, we define various positions in our organization. This is done in the settings area of CRM. And all this does is abstract the hierarchy away from user records themselves. So instead of saying that Clinton is the manager of Anthony, we can say that Anthony is a practice director and Clinton is a VP of services, and all VPs of services are makeshift managers of practice directors. So whether you have 2 users who are identified as VP of services, they would both have access to say, a single practice director beneath them, even if those services might be completely different service lines. This makes the security model, a little bit more flexible, and it generates a more open security model within your organization. So now that we've talked about security, I'll make a note about some new customization options in CRM. The first of which is calculated fields. So a calculated field is going to be a number field, whether that be a quantity or a decimal or a whole number, and it will automatically get a value based on values of other fields in the same record. So this is something you may have achieved before with plugins or JavaScript, or as of 2013 and above, you can achieve the same result with business rules. But a calculated field you define at the field level instead of at the form level. And that ensures us that it can happen in the background, basically like a plugin. So the calculated field editor gives us a pretty simple interface similar to the business rule editor. And you can optionally specify a condition, but more importantly, you can specify the action, which is to say, for this example, set the project management budget equal to budget amount times the project management rate, and that rate is basically a whole number, so we'll divide the entire result by 100. And on the right, we can see that with a budget amount of 150,000 and a rate of 5%, we come out with a project management budget of 7,500. So this can automatically provide some insight for your users, and it's configurable by basically CRM power users. You no longer have to be a developer or know any code to achieve this level of automation. And notice that project management budget field is locked. That's just so that folks don't also try to manually edit it, because its value can only be arrived at through calculation. Another new concept in CRM 2015 is roll-up fields. A roll-up field contains an aggregate value that is rolled up from all child records of the current record. For example, you can show a dollar amount. This is out of the box. An out-of-the-box field called open revenue, which is on the account record, shows a dollar amount of all opportunities beneath that account. In the screenshot, you can see that we have open revenue out there of $50,000. And there's another roll-up field right below it, open deals, there's one of them. So we can basically deduce that there's one opportunity out there for $50,000. These are calculated on a schedule in the background as quick as every 1 hour, or as infrequently as every 12 hours. By default, they're going to calculate every 12 hours. You can also calculate them on demand on the form itself. When you hover over the field, there's a little refresh button. If you click that, it'll recalculate your roll-up field. A neat thing about these roll-up fields is they can account for all those new hierarchies scattered throughout CRM. So for this screenshot, for example, there's one open deal constituting $50,000 of open revenue. If the fifth coffee account, which is below fourth coffee, you might remember, if it also has a single open opportunity of $100,000, then that can also be rolled up all the way to fourth coffee, at which point you'd have two open deals for a total of 200. At which point you'd have two open deals for a total of $200,000. So one open deal under fourth coffee, one open deal under fifth coffee, which rolls up to fourth coffee. And what this provides is a quick snapshot to maybe a sales manager or a sales rep to say, okay, for this account and all of its opportunities below it, or even opportunities below its child accounts, how much business have we done or will be doing or could be doing? I'll make a quick comment on automation enhancements to automation features that were added in 2013. So 2015 has improved those. Those features I'm referring to are business rules and business process flows. So business rules, you can now use if-else logic. You no longer need to pair your business rules in order to get a desired effect. So the screenshot on the right shows if we meet this condition, then do this, else, and you can use an if-else, so you could have multiple if conditions, but you finally end with an else, take these actions. Similarly, you can use this same logic engine in the business process flow editor to branch your business process flows. So if you're on, for example, an opportunity record, and you fill out the budget amount, and it'll fall within, say, 3 stage gates, or in this case 2. If it's greater than 100,000 or less than, or kind of a catch-all with the else. If it fulfills this one, then we'll go to a different stage of our process flow than we would with this one. So this allows you to automatically guide your CRM sales users through a flow depending on the budget of any particular record, opportunity record that is. Final feature I will make a note about is global search. So this is global in the sense that it's search over multiple entities. Where previously we had quick find enabled for a single entity at a time, or advanced find still over a single entity at a time. Now we have global search over multiple entities. It's like quick find over multiple entities at a time. And it's available on any screen. In the top navigation bar, you'll have a search field. You can start typing into that and hit enter. And the results screen gives you kind of this nice tile-based results with records that fulfill your search query. I searched for coffee, and I put that star wildcard character at the front to return fifth coffee an Atlanta account, and fourth coffee, which we know is the parent of the previous 2 coffees. We had returned 2 contacts that are employees of coffee accounts, and we returned a lead for fourth coffee. So what we got here is global search. This ends up, for me, being my go-to functionality. If I need to find an account, I won't bother to navigate to accounts and then search. I can do it I can now from any screen search with a quick search, and usually my result will be one of the top results over here. You can configure what entities are searchable with a global search. This is in the system settings under general. It says set up quick find, and you select your entities. Out of the box, these are enabled by default. You can add up to 10 entities to this list, including custom entities. So if you had a solution installed such as click dimensions, you can add, say, website visit records or marketing activity records to this list, and they would be searchable. For more info on Dynamics CRM from IBIS, you can visit our website or call our main number. Thank you for attending today's webcast on 5 new features in CRM 2015. Thanks, and have a great day.